My name is Amber. In 2019, COVID caused my high school years to end early. College was never in the cards, and to this day, I have still never been able to get a job. My family cannot afford a car, and for the last 5 years, I have been living with my father. October of last year, my mom died of cancer. A month after we learned she was ill, she died. For all that time, I have been stuck here. Yume Nikki. Yume Nikki is a game most people online nowadays have heard of or seen in some capacity. It's one of those games that you see pictures of, characters from, and always feel like you know them, because they're that ingrained into online spaces. Many people have talked about the game to different extents, talking about possible symbolism and the nature of it all, but I want this video to be different from those kinds of videos. This video is meant to be an insight on my emotions and how they connect with Yume Nikki. How I think what Yume Nikki is about is largely what I have been going through. Yume Nikki is a game about a girl traversing through her dreams. That much seems simple from the start. It's the only thing you can do really in the game. But there is more to it than that I think the average person doesn't really think about. These characters are well known to a lot of people. Madatsuki, the protagonist, is recognizable as being the girl from that game about traversing dreams. But the kind of game Yume Nikki is, it's less about that kind of feeling, less about that kind of story being told. The game really is just about dreams. It's about a person not having anything else to do but live in their dreams. You're stuck, as her, in your room, just thinking about the world outside, taking little glimpses out into it ever so often. And this is something about Yume Nikki which can alienate people. I can't remember how I first learned about Yume Nikki, but nothing prepared me for what it was actually like to play. There was so much confusion in me, so much neediness of there being a goal in mind. Something to do, somewhere I should be, those kinds of needs and wants. And the thing about Yume Nikki is that it doesn't give you that. On June 7th of last year, I had a dream where I was hanging out with friends. People close to me from school that I'm lucky enough to still be in contact with. The dream wasn't anything special, which might be the weirdest thing about it. It was just a dream where I was hanging out with them, enjoyed our time together. But the thing about me is that, for the longest time, I've been so socially anxious. My biggest fears come from social ostracization, being left alone, not acting when I should. In that dream, it was what I was used to, what was normal to me, and what that was involved me being scared. I can remember so distinctly the kind of emotional pangs that I would feel, just trying to be a part of the conversation. So much sadness bubbling under the surface that every time I would speak, it would feel like a yell trying to escape me. Yume Nikki doesn't play like other games. It's special in that way, because there's no real objective for you. Not really. Even if there is an ending you can get to. There's just places to visit, things to see and explore. The experience of it is less a game with objectives to find, and instead just something to walk around in and look at. The expectation being that you're just wandering around in a world made of your imagination. It's just something to look at and experience. do things with no purpose other than doing them. Moments where things are more coherent are vastly different from one another. Yume Nikki is about this. Just living in this way. And that's why it was so confusing to me, I think. It made me engage with this world in a way nothing else did. And that's something I really cherish about it. There are some things in life which are just so beautiful or captivating. Your emotions and expectations can do nothing but wash off you as you let the moment take you. That's what Yume Nikki was for me. The game is so well known because of these aspects of it, I think. There are many people who have made games based on Yume Nikki or inspired by it, who go for that same kind of atmosphere. Worlds in your dreams that you visit and just look at for a while. Because that's what it's really about. It's hard for me to imagine some of these things aren't in some way directly based on what the creator has actually dreamt of before. The feelings you get from these sparse, vague interactions with things combined from your memory. It's personal in a way nothing else I think can really capture. How emotionally vulnerable they make us. How much they reflect on what we know. It's something really important to me. Many times, I've gotten dreams where I wasn't at all a figure in them. Where I was just watching something happen. Watching someone do something cool. That kind of thing. They can also be so influenced by what I watch. The kind of games that I've played, the people I've talked to, the things that I do. Many times I have had fun talking to people about those dreams because of how they let me express my love for the things that they had spawned from. Sometimes they scare me, though, too. Certain moments in Yume Nikki really stick out to me emotionally. The different characters we meet, like Poniko and Monoko, I get such a specific impression from them being in the game. People we remember in our dreams, just being there. Regardless of how personal we were with them, regardless of the feelings we had about them. Sometimes they can just be there and remind you of old times, in one way or another. Trauma sticks with us in dreams in a way that's hard to control. People we know get told through dreams. Our emotions of those people get expressed in ways which are sometimes unpredictable. All of it coalesces into an incomprehensibly unique circumstance, one special to the people privileged enough with still being alive. Yume Nikki has a stigma around it, that it's a kind of horror game. In some ways I don't think this is incorrect, but the kind of horror it gives you is something different from anything else. Sure, it has moments where there's a loud noise, something chasing you, but those experiences are there in a sea of concepts. I say all this because the horror of Yume Nikki, most often, to me, is cumulative. That it comes less from the moments and more from playing the game for an extended period of time. Worlds of Yume Nikki reflect the sadness, confusion, and wonder about the world that makes the totality of those experiences set in as a sort of dread. All these things have happened, you've been a part of, but they can feel so nonsensical or sad. Yume Nikki is doing this, showing us these things through dreams. Something that I think a lot of people haven't heard about in regards to Yume Nikki is the idea that traffic incidents are somehow important to the game and its characters. There is the infinite road with the corpse on it, the stoplight effect and its special uses, possible connections to other characters. Why I bring that up is, regardless of how intentional these things are, I think Yume Nikki captures the effect of dreams collecting different forms of trauma and sadness into dream worlds. That the things in your life which affect you can influence your dreams in completely disconnected ways from what the rest of your dream is about. All of your memories and feelings get told through these moments, and sometimes they can be fragile, loud, long and drawn out, or funny. I don't remember when it was, but it must have been at least a month or two after we held the service. I had this dream about my mom. It wasn't super long, but for whatever reason, I was in a treehouse in somebody's backyard. It was dark out. There wasn't anyone else there but me and my mom. And after I talked with her for a while, she just started burning. She caught on fire and I couldn't do anything as I just sat there and watched her die. For someone like me, when talking about dreams, it can be easy to figure out why you had the dream after talking about it for a while. The way that Yume Nikki does this in a really basic way is, I think, it's video game world. I mentioned how what shows you watch can influence your dreams. I think this very much so reflects that. When something is close to you, or that you've experienced so much of it, it's only natural to dream about it. One of the only things in Madotsuki's room, in the real world, is a game console. She plays games, and she dreams about them, too. Many times in my life, I've dreamed about the games that I love. I've been in a position where the game is just what the dream is, and my input on it has not been a factor. From those feelings, I connect with these moments of Yume Nikki. This might sound strange, but I have these feelings about beauty in general, which I want to talk about. There's this feeling in me that sometimes beauty is most exemplified by when it is reflective of yourself. Pieces of art which want you to engage with them so especially, which get this reaction out of you which says something about yourself. I have this feeling in me that beauty is often very much so about that. What I think makes this apply here is that I think dreams are a very natural, personal form of that. They reflect ourselves in a way that's not like anything else. It's like a form of art which is literally created against our will. These ideas I feel so strongly with Yume Nikki because of its ability to capture that through a playable experience, one that captures the nature of dreams while not artistically being random, being created to evoke those things. It is in so many ways exactly what dreams can be like, but at the same time, it's just an old computer game where you walk around for a while before stopping. Yume Nikki's ending is something so powerful about it. I don't think many people know exactly what to make of it. Collect everything, and the game just stops with Madotsuki killing herself. She takes her own life after doing everything she can to keep her occupied. This is a part of Yume Nikki which I connect with so much, so especially. I see what happens here as a sad result of what the game has always been like. You've been living in your dreams for so long. Dreams are seen as an escape for so many people, but there's nothing left to do in them. You've seen all that you can access, being stuck in this same place for so long. So the previous form of escape doesn't work anymore. You can't keep yourself busy anymore now that all of your dreams have been explored. So you try to escape in the only way you have left to you, Ever since I was 6, I dealt with suicidal tendencies. I can remember so many days where I would just fill time by hurting myself and constantly repeat the sentiment that I wanted to die over and over. I've only tried taking my life once. There have been times where I've been closer to doing it than others. I just say all this to convey that I feel like I understand this moment so especially now. My experience with Yume Nikki has been about the same thing. Surviving all the dreams I have, being stuck in the same place for so long. The creator of Yume Nikki is still out there, doing things. I don't know if things are going to get harder, or how much longer I'm going to be stuck here, but I want to survive regardless. I want to be able to make something that can reflect the kind of pain I've gone through in the same way that Yume Nikki has. So that's why I made this video, and I'm going to keep making things for as long as I can. Goodbye. Good night.